This entire region is my ancestral homelands. I live with the land, I live from it. I have great respect for it.
Laws on the reservation were not made for us to create our own economy. They were made for companies to come and extract resources from our lands.
This power plant is shutting down. There's this big controversy whether it's going to stay open, whether, the Navajo Nation is going to keep it open.
It's no secret that the salary levels for those jobs are much higher than anywhere else on the Navajo Nation. And then there's also revenue to the tribal coffers. They're losing quite a bit of revenue through royalties that go to tribal services. So it's going to be a rough time for a lot of folks, but it's a time of change. I come from a family of silversmiths. So I grew up with people working every day but not actually going to work. Making jewelry and then going on selling trips. We'd often go to Sedona or Phoenix or Santa Fe. I was always told when I went to college that I would be going for business. So I did. That's what I studied at ASU. When I was in college then, it was really about how to work for corporations, how to climb that corporate ladder. But I always knew that I had wanted to start my own business. People think that business is a white man in a suit coming to your community that wants something and that has found something on the reservation that they need and wants access to. That's the perception of what business is. So we wanted to change that view of what a Navajo entrepreneur was.
In listening to the entrepreneurs who come to our events year after year, people tell us the same entrepreneurial challenges over and over again. I don't have internet at my house, or I couldn't get an employment identification number because my roads aren't labeled, or I don't know how to convert my home.
We are in Tuba City today. We are announcing the opening of Change Labs, which is an incubator and co-working space specifically for supporting entrepreneurship within the community. We threw around the idea that if we created something that was for the reservation, that we might be able to help people. The response from a lot of people was that there really aren't any businesses on the reservation.
The ironic thing is that if you drive across the reservation, our flea markets are flourishing. There's all sorts of people set up on the sides of the roads, chopping wood, recycling batteries, selling fry bread. We have an extremely hyper-entrepreneurial culture, but it doesn't necessarily translate into local and sustainable small businesses set up in our communities.
We started a campaign called I Am the Navajo Economy, and really that was to boost these entrepreneurs as being part of the economy as well.
I own a small food stand and also a small catering company called Alternative Eats, and we focus on Japanese-inspired food.
People think sushi in Tuba City, I don't know about that. He started with just a smaller menu, but it's taken off.
I always wanted to learn how to cook, but in my family, I guess, stereotypically the guy you have to become a welder or a pipe fitter. When I went to culinary school, there was so many foods that just really opened up my mind and my taste, and my curiosity for different cultures. I always wanted to come back. I always wanted to come back to Tipp City and bring back what I've learned.
Shoshana Eco Retreat is a glamping bed and breakfast about 12 miles south of Page. Our guests come from all over the world. This is an immersion into nature, surrounded by it. You go and take a walk up the hill and you can come across any manner of creature that lives here in the desert. It's surprising how many people crave that. We've been in business for about 4 years now. One of the main challenges of setting up a business here on the Navajo Nation is just wading through the paperwork that you have to go through, all of these regulations that you have to meet, as well as introducing the idea that you want to run a business here on the reservation.
When leadership thinks about economic development, they think of large-scale development projects. They don't think about small entrepreneurs.
For those of you who are currently running a business, where are you running it from? So there's a few options up here.
They don't think that entrepreneurship is a force, when really it's the force that's kept communities alive and able to survive.
Our incubator has been around officially for about 5 years. We have 14 businesses that are currently in the incubator.
How many of you have actually worked in a co-working space before?
So we do this through an application process. Once you get into the incubator, we have a series of get-togethers. We bring graphic designers and branding experts. They do workshops on how to create a brand. Another event that we do is a financial deep dive, where we bring in accountants, and this is the part that's difficult. We have to do this in a setting where we sort of trap them there and say, okay, we have to talk about your profitability, your margins, your expenses. Once they actually see the numbers and they see, okay, I know what I need to do to reach that, it really helps them to move forward.
They really legitimized us. We had these professionals who were pushing us, who were excited about our idea, who wanted to see us succeed. Change doesn't come easily for anybody, and this represents a change.
Here in Tipp City on the reservation, if we were to get rid of Taco Bell, Bash's, Sonic's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, if we were to get rid of all of those overnight, whoever made the best hamburger in town is gonna be rich overnight. Whoever makes the best fried chicken in town, they're gonna be banking it. Like, why not let a native, what's wrong with a native getting rich? What's wrong with a native having a little money? What's wrong with a native being successful?
I see the drive that they have, and a lot of times it has nothing to do with money. It's because they want to live in their community, they want to raise their family here. I see that, I see the sacrifices they make.
Come together.
But I also see the potential. Growing up, we as Navajo people were taught to believe what was out here for us wasn't what was good for us. What was good for us was off the reservation or outside of what the Navajo Nation was. That's one of the things that we're trying to change now as a society. Our culture doesn't limit us, it actually is what we need to survive and to do more than survive, to be successful.